Buffett, welcome to another exciting episode of The Hangout. That's the name of the show. If it's your first time watching it, welcome to it. Man, let's start to namhlanje. It's called in the Nelson Mandela Bay, and also namhlanje the home alone is like Deko and Yazi Opi on Domu. But anyway, man, I'm gonna be on your TV screen for the next hour from 3:30 until 4:30, making sure that I'm keeping you warm because there's a Nelson Mandela Bay, but also be part of the show, man, by interacting with us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's Mpuma Kappa TV. Hit us up, man. And also on WhatsApp, it's 083-690-0530. That's us. You can also hit us up. And also, we have a question of the week. The question of the week, go to a mention is sponsor. Some music on the snow, the event that's happening this weekend at Hawksback. And you stand a chance to win a double ticket. You can take a friend, you can take a partner, whoever you want to. But I have an amazing show for you. You know, I have a first lady that goes by the name of Anna. I'm going to let her to introduce herself, but you know, Musi, and then when we come back, we'll start with our first interview. We're coming back after this. In terms we have Anna in the show. She's a book writer, but I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. But let me just welcome her to the show. Anna, how are you?
I'm good, and it's so great to be here with you today.
Welcome to it, man. Please introduce yourself to our viewers about who's Anna, where she's coming from.
Okay, so you're right. I am a book writer,
sure,
but that's my side gig. So my profession is in the digital space. I'm a web designer and a UX designer.
I can as well, guys. Let's talk about that, man. You said the book is it's a side hustle.
Yes.
And apparently on your books you write about your kids' book.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. What was the motive behind it where you decided, okay, you know what? I'm just not going to write about love books and all that. Let me just plug the kids.
So I'm a mom. I suppose that is part of the inspiration. I've read a lot of children's books.
Sure.
And I enjoy rhythm and rhyme books, if anyone's a parent, which you'll have read books that are rhyming children's stories. They're very simple, but at the same very beautiful. So yeah, that's I enjoy reading them. So I just basically had these words going on in my head, and I decided to put them down and write.
That's nice, man. I also want to ask you something. Since you're writing about the kids, man, and also we know that like the kids from this generation compared to the 90s babies, they're not the same anymore. What's that one thing you say? Okay, if your kid read my book, she will literally she will get like one or two things on my book, and then it will literally structure the kid for the future.
Okay, so the books I write are kind of dealing with themes or like imagination and creativity and just having fun and just tapping into the mind of a kid. So yeah, I think there's something I read the other day when I was dropping my child off at school. It was a poster they had on the wall. There's no app to replace the lap. So I think just ultimately it's not so much what's in the books, but just to create the experience for the parent, child, or caregiver and child to enjoy reading together. And I love reading to my children, and I know all children love being read to.
I can imagine that like every time they're getting a bedtime story, should be nice. Let's talk about the main hustle, because I don't know if I'm pronouncing right. UX design.
UX design.
UX design. Yes. Let's talk about that. What is UX design?
So UX design is user experience design, and that's dealing with interface design. So looking at whether that's on a mobile app or a website. It's really the architecture behind design. So it's taking content and thinking about how best to structure your interface to help the user understand how to take the next step or what's expected of them, and then also obviously ultimately to get the user to click on that call to action, whether that's buy now or make a reservation. And yeah.
You became a freelancer. How did that come about?
So I was very fortunate to kind of stumble into the digital space at almost the advent of the internet. So going back like 20 years ago is when I first started learning how to build websites. It was very different back then. There's no mobile, no AI, no virtual meetings. So it was very different, but I had the opportunity to start learning, and that just set me on the course. And ever since then, I was just able to develop those skills and learn and adapt. And having a skill like web design or anything in the digital space, you just naturally are quite, you're in quite a flexible career space. So I was able to continue to work for myself since I started working.
That's very interesting, because also like I want to ask, because you just mentioned something that like back in the days, like 20 years ago, there was literally no internet and all that. I would say that was your early days. Yeah, there were challenges you were facing compared to 2024. How was that, like from back into 20 years until 2024? How were the challenges?
Well, I guess there's different kinds of challenges. So technically, you were a lot more limited when I started building websites, because you had to work more inside very specific boxes. You couldn't do as much as you can now. I think, going back 20 years ago, the internet was fairly new, so not everyone understood the importance of having a website. Whereas I think today, if you're a serious business owner, you have to be online. So I think in the beginning, there was more convincing.
Sure.
Yeah.
So basically, you had to use your marketing skills to make sure.
Just convince people.
And also to states, man, because you know that thing, like when you grow up as a person and knowing where you're coming from and where you're at today. And then you look back in your journey, you're like, this moment was the moment that I was proud of myself. Which moment that you look back and like, you know what, this is the moment I was proud of?
Okay, that's an interesting question. Yeah, I think you know what? Okay, I'm going to talk about 2020. So there was a sort of 3-year period where I stepped out of the digital space, and my husband and I opened a restaurant together. Yeah, so although I stepped out of it as my main thing, I did manage the social media and our website, and I took on a few clients, so I kept it up over those years. But in 2020, we had to close the restaurant, and so that I had to pivot back to the digital space, and I really put my all into it. It was all we had at that time. And so I think in terms of looking back on something that I'm proud of, from where I've come to where I am now over these last 4 years, just looking at what I've been able to build up and the connections I've been able to make, I'm proud of that.
Shout out to you, man. Like, you can imagine bouncing back from that and coming here for today, and then you're like, yeah, life happened. You know, most when you bounce back, you always want to make sure the future is bright, like it's not compared to the past. What's that one thing you can literally wait for in future that can literally say, okay, Anna's busy with this now? Like collaboration, or you want to publish your books in the school?
Yes, yeah. So I love what I get to do on a daily basis, and I work with clients all over the world.
Sure.
So I'm really enjoying what I do now. I think something I would like to be able to do over the next maybe 5 to 10 years is mentor somebody else to be able to step into what I'm doing, and I would like to step into more of the book writing.
Short.
I would like to give more time to writing books, and it's maybe,
I'm watching at home, wondering, man, how can I be part of digital industry? And I want to do that. What's that one thing you can say, okay, this is step 1, you started with doing this. This is step 2, you start doing this.
Yeah. Well, firstly, I'd like to encourage anyone who feels like it's something that they could be good at, and it's an industry where they have something to offer, because it offers you a lot of flexibility, especially if you're young. You can even travel and work from anywhere in the world. You can work for clients from anywhere in the world. So it is in a career with a lot of possibility and scope. So how to get into it? I would say everything you need to learn is online. You can teach yourself. You don't have to go pay for an expensive education. So just start learning. If you've got time to apply yourself, then go online, search for short courses, even free courses on YouTube, and just start learning and playing around. And then I would also say, every opportunity that you get to work with a client, where they're just starting out, give great service. Because most of my work these days is because of clients that I've built up relationship with over the years, whether they are local or international. They come back to me because they know that they'll get good service from me. So just consistently give good service.
Shout out. Before I let you go, where can we get you on social media if people they want to interact with you?
So I am on Instagram, and my handle is Slow Down Family. I used to blog a bit, so that's related to my blog.
Guys, that was Anna, a book writer and also busy with big things, digital. Anna, I just want to say thanks for your time, and I really appreciate, and stay warm because it's cold outside.
Thanks.
If you're watching the show, we're coming back after this. We're just going to go and pay the bills. When we come back, we're coming back with more. Stay tuned. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much, Anna. It was amazing. Oh. You're welcome. Luando. Did I hear wrong? Yeah, you heard wrong. Is it Georgia or? Georgia. Georgia. Okay, perfect. No problem. 1 minute.
The couch is lower than it looks.
Yeah, because I'm trying to be tall.
Trying to be tall.
Yeah. If you love stands, you're gonna love this couch. Aha. Yes. Now I have to. Oh, TV, guys. TV.
Light is so bright.
30 seconds. Stand by. Can you
What am I saying? Hi. Hi. Can you hear me? Am I on? Hi, testing. Testing 1, 2. Guys, I don't speak so loud, but I'll try. I'll try for you. Today we will speak loud.
They say it's fine. No problem. Oh, isn't a costume, girl? Oh, isn't a costume? Yeah, bro. Danko. Welcome back to channel 260, channel of choice. That's just the Hangout. That's the name of the show. And as we have question of the week. The question of the week, Tini, I'm a sponsor. That's going to be part of the music festival in the snow in Hogsback this weekend. And you can interact with us on Pumakapa TV. That's us on Facebook. And then on WhatsApp, send us a message, man. It's 0836900530. But we have another guest on the show. A fashion designer. Hey, Nins. Hi, Sister Kunjan.
Hi.
Yes, your smile is just giving other things, but anyway,
Even you.
Nah, just introduce yourself. It's a moment to shine.
So I'm Georgia Rhoda. I studied fashion design, but ventured into costume design very early on after that. That's like the true passion, you know?
Let's talk. I'm getting into it straight.
Yeah.
You decided fashion. You want to be a fashion designer.
Very early on, actually.
How it happened?
Well, I want to say that it was pure coincidence, but you know, the Lord has plans with a person, and then you just venture into the direction that you need to be in. So I was very passionate about it early on, more so storytelling and conveying stories, telling people stories through clothes, through garments, through fashion, through costumes. Because a lot of the times if you see in shows, in TV, in film, even theatre productions, you don't really get the full scope of the story, or you're not really immersed into the story if the look isn't right, you know? And costumes also play a very strong part of that.
To be honest with you, I never literally knew that you can literally tell a story by creating a costume or something. Yeah. Let's start on that, man. You creating costume for people. How did that come about? Was it that thing you're playing with your dolls and then you decided, you know what? Let me just do this. How did that come about?
Look, I studied fashion design for about 2 or so years, and after that I went directly into making things custom for people, but more so specializing into costume. So when I was very young as well, my aunt took me once upon a time to go watch a production in Joburg in the amphitheater. I think it was Jersey Boys. Yeah, I think that's really where the flame got lit. Because once again, it's that thing that I was telling you about, that it's very immersive. And because I'm a visual person, the clothing and the glitz and the glamour and all those little details caught my eye. And ever since then, it's just been a love of mine, and I wanted to get into that. So, yeah, just everything kind of steered its way in that direction.
I always ask myself, man, do you notice that, like, there's a lot of, like, costume, when you see them on the runway, you're like, oh, who's this? Like, all this. Like, your work literally speaks before you even show up. Let's talk about that. Like, don't you feel some type of way when they're like, people like commenting? You know, sometimes you get great comments. Sometimes people, they're like, I don't like that. Yeah, well, and then literally you're just standing next to them. How's that?
Look, luckily I have a thick skin, so that's fine.
Sure.
Yeah, but honestly, you just have to be really set in what it is you're trying to put forward. As long as you're happy with what you're putting on personally as in fashion, or what you're putting out there in costume, you know in your head that this is the right look for this character. This is the right clothing that's going to convey this message to other people. If people don't like it, sorry guys, it's okay. It's okay.
It is
like,
okay. It's okay.
You're not going to like what I like. I'm not necessarily going to like what you like. But it's all good. There's something out there for everyone.
I can hear you talk about the good side of your journey. We know that as a people, we always face challenges. There are challenges you face that we don't know about it, but we always see the final product. Let's talk about the challenges you face when you're designing a costume.
Right, like costume specifically. Okay, cool. So it's a whole process that you go through with costuming, that basically when you're dressing a character, you kind of have to understand what that character is about in order to convey the story, of course. So it's kind of hard in the first place conceptualizing if it's a little bit different from where you are. Because, you know, it's not always easy to put yourself in someone else's shoes. That can be a bit tricky. Also getting it right. So in that manner, I mean, working with a director, putting your stamp on stuff, but at the same time fulfilling the director's needs and what it is they want to put forward in their show and their production that they're there. So it's kind of finding that midway between what you can offer and how you get to what the director wants as well. That's a tricky thing. And then when it comes to making, sometimes, yeah, there's big ideas, there's big amazing costumes that you can make, there's extreme, wacky, wonderful stuff out there. And finding out how you're going to get that right and how you're going to actually make the image that you have there and bring it to reality. And then as well, another thing that comes in with that is functionality, making it functional for people to wear, especially in a theater space where you're on stage. You may be dancing, you may be running up and down on stage, whatever actions there is, it has to be functional. It has to stay on their body. It has to move around with them. It needs to work. So there's a lot of little things and little considerations that come into it. that can be seen as challenges, but hey, I've always liked the challenge. So
I feel like you get motivated by a challenge, though. But but also it's part of life, though, because if it doesn't motivate you, then why are you there? I want to ask you something, man. There's literally the Eastern Cape Fashion that's coming up. The fashion show that's coming. Are you also? Are you also part of it?
No.
Have you?
So my focus literally shifted more from fashion side into costuming.
Sure.
So I'm more involved with theaters. I've recently started working on film productions as well. So it's more behind the scenes and behind the screens kind of work that I do, not necessarily the runway. And selling lines and products that way.
I want to ask you something. I've been wanting to ask this question. you know when you look at your work and then you're like, this was the moment. What's that one moment you're like, I was proud of doing this in this day?
That's a tricky one.
I feel like there's a lot of moments there.
There's a lot of moments that stand out. I don't think there's one particular that I can say, hey, this was it. Because honestly, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. So it's going to take a while to get there, I reckon. But there are those little moments that you see something and you're like, that was the one. But what it is for me more is when it's going back to what you were saying about hearing negative comments and that. But when you hear positive comments, and it might not even be directed at you. It could just be in passing like, oh, did you see the other day we went to go watch the show? This was really cool. Or, hey, did you see that character and what they were wearing? Wow. You know? Subtle things like that also conveys to you that I got it right. The viewer could adequately see what it is we were trying to portray. And that's where the magic happens for me. Because you walk in, you sit, you watch a show, you attend something, fresh off the bat. Don't really know what went into it, what the story could have been behind the scenes, but as soon as that visual message is conveyed, then I'm happy.
I get you, what you say. I also want to ask, man, like there's someone who's watching at home who wants a costume in the future. Where can they get you to make sure that they get the best costume?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You can get me on Instagram. My handle is at JustGeorgia18. Also, my Facebook is pretty active. It's a personal profile, but I use it for business. Georgia Rhoda.
Let's keep it like that, man, because we're just gonna go to the ad break. When we come back, we're gonna talk about more. When we're gonna just stay tuned, man. We're gonna come back after this. Don't forget to interact with us on our social media platform. If you just joined the show, that's the perfect time, man, because there's still more to come. Stay tuned. We're coming back after this. My friends, welcome back. Welcome back. We're back at it, man. I'm still by myself. But hey, man, I got a coolest guest here, and she's keeping me warm. And yeah, hopefully you're also warm at home. And hi, sis. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, still good?
Yeah, always. It's a vibe up here. We're just hanging out, most.
Just chilling. Let's get straight to it, man. I'm literally listening at home and what you were saying, and I'm thinking I want to start this journey of being a costume designer. Yeah, like what's that one thing you will literally introduce me and advise me to start doing?
You literally don't have to study.
Are you serious?
It would be weird. You wouldn't have to necessarily look. Some places do ask for qualifications and that specifically, there we go, geared towards costuming and that, just so that you know you have a background. But literally, everything I have learned up to this point, specifically in the realm of costuming, is just purely by volunteering, getting involved, starting somewhere and working your way up. What I did do, though, was study fashion design. So that gave me a nice groundwork on actual garment construction, pattern making, the nitty-gritty stuff that you don't ever hear about when you think, okay, I want a T-shirt, how do we make a T-shirt?
Sure.
So that is very helpful if you're actually going to make stuff. So now what I do is a bit of everything. So it's conceptualization, designing, making, sourcing stuff for shows, so on, as well as like, you know, the interactions between people, fitting, yada, yada, yada,
Sure.
altering, all that. So it depends in what space or what realm you really want to delve into. Because technically, being a costume designer is apart from manufacture entirely. If you do work in like a very professional space, you should be able to hand your designs over to people to actually make and then just oversee that happening. But because I like being everywhere, let's not lie, it's very handy and helpful for me to like learn every little bit and every little segment of what is needed to get to that end picture that I was talking about. Because at the end of the day, you know, I feel like you can't really do something properly if you don't understand all the components that bring it all together. Yeah. So to answer your actual question,
Yeah, bro.
fashion design is helpful. Knowing how to put stuff together is helpful. Having a good creative eye and eye for detail is very important. Just get involved. Put your hand out there, say, hey, what can I do? Find people around and say, hey, can I learn from you? Can I shadow you? Things like that. And you'll pick up skills like this.
To also state on that, man, you say going around asking for help from people. You know that we're in a city where people, they love to complain. Complain in what sense? Like, someone would say, like, I would literally go to Luan and ask for help.
Yeah.
And then he will shut me down.
Yeah.
And also, they always complain that we don't have resources in the province. So I want to state on, like, when it comes to your match, like, if you want to do a costume and then you're waiting for a match, does it take long or is it easy for you to get it?
Look, it's not an easy process. You are going to find those people who just either don't have time for you or don't have the time to give back to the community. But then they're just not the right fit right now. They might be in a few years, who knows. But don't let that deter what it is you want to do. Because if you want to do it, you'll find a way to do it. So if you don't come right by this person, hi, shame, go to the next one. Try and make more contacts. Because believe you me, once you actually start going into the industry and you find the right people, everyone in the entertainment space is interconnected anyways. So my thing is always, if I can help you, I'll refer you to someone who can. Or another possibility, you know? Because, man, why are we not building each other up?
Tell me about it.
Right?
Tell me about it.
So it's difficult, but not impossible.
Anna? So you find a way. Oh, I love your energy. I also want to ask, man, like, we know, like, like, how do I put this question? But, okay, I think you will find it on the way.
Okay.
Who's that one person on your field you look up to? You're like, you see this person, everything she touch or he touch, it's magic.
Look, once again, it's one of those things that there's multiple examples. Because I think that out of everyone, you can pick something out that's really golden to you and that you can learn from, that you can take from. But honestly speaking, I wouldn't have had my start in the city specifically without a lady by the name of Rose Cowper. I think you had her on the couch the other day.
Yes, it would say.
Yeah, so I called her up one day and I was like, hey, yo, dude, I'm trying to do this thing. Help a girl out. Where do I start? I don't know what to do. And like I was saying earlier, she was that call for me that she was like, okay, cool, come through. Because the first 3 calls I made were rejections. Yeah.
So did you want to give up on that time?
No.
Oh, okay. You know what? Know what we're gonna do now? Né? We're gonna put your pictures on the screen, the costume, and then you're gonna tell us what motivates you and what happened.
Behind that one?
No, they're gonna play on the screen. So I'm just gonna wait them to let me know when it's going. Like this one. This one, it's a onesie. What happened?
It's a onesie. Very difficult onesie because all of those stripes are sewn together individually. And it has a tail. So basically, this was from a project that I did that was held at the Boardwalk. It was a client that came to me. She had a concept of doing a Mad Hatter's gin and tea. So the whole theme was based on Alice in Wonderland, the Mad Hatter, all of those different characters. So that obviously was the Cheshire Cat. Yeah.
And tell me about this one. It looks like a...
Same show.
Is it the same show?
Same one. That was Alice. Yeah. So Alice has that very characteristic blue poofy dress with a little apron and so on. So yeah, once again, one of those characters that came from that one.
Have you ever thought of starting your own brand? Like just start the
Oh no, I did.
How was it?
I have. Not a brand per se, as in like a clothing line, because once again, that goes back to fashion. So what I do is I work with individual clients on a person-to-person basis. Or if, for example, you have a show that you'd like me to come in on and consult, coordinate all the costumes for that show. Or what I started doing last year as well was private clients from Connect. So Connect is basically our local Comic-Con, which is also very heavily costume-based. It's more in the cosplay realm of things, so that's also very fun because it's interesting characters and so on. Yeah.
I so wish you can see your face when you talk about costume, though. Like the way you become happy. And I also want to know...
It's my heart.
Yeah, I want to know that, what's that one thing that gives you joy when you start with the costume? You're like, okay, you know what, now we're doing
I'm
this.
going to have to correct you there, because when we start, it's a nightmare.
Anna?
Yeah, no. It's first like, how do I do this? How are we going to figure this out? What's going on? You try a thing, it doesn't work. You try another thing, it doesn't work. Irritates you. Burn your fingers on a glue gun every now and again.
Can imagine.
Yeah.
Can imagine.
But look, once again, it comes back to that finished picture.
Short.
And when I'm working with a private client that comes in and says to me, hey, I want to go to this thing and I need this costume. Can you do it? It's seeing the reaction on their faces and seeing how happy they are with it at the end of the day that makes it worthwhile. Yeah.
Shout out to you, man. I wish you nothing but the best in
Thank
future.
you.
Before I let you go, man, where can we get you on social media?
So the same. Instagram is at justgeorgia18, 18. And then on Facebook, it is Georgia Rhoda.
Shout out to you, man. Anything you want to say before I let you go? Guess nothing she want to say, though. But anyway, we're looking interact with us, man. We have a question of the week. The question of the week, Kyabuzwa. Zitini is sponsor the music and the snow in Hawksback. That's an event that's happening this weekend. Gala Friday until Sunday. It's going to be a banger of an event, I can tell you. And also, hit us up, man, on social media. It's 083 690 0530. That's our WhatsApp line. And on Facebook, Mpuma Kappa TV. But guys, just stay tuned. We're going to come back with Usisi Unubuhle. Stay tuned. We're coming back. Okay, so
Hi.
Hello.
check.
Okay. 1, 2, mic check. 1, 2, 3. Is that fine?
Do you guys want content? Content phone.
Already did.
Oh shit! Oh shit! And even slowly was. Sicela ujonge ivoice yakho siswa ngicela sichazeni.
Hi. Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, qhubekeka. She's fine. Okay, 2 right siswa.
Okay.
Yes. Yebo. Is it time? Mafethu, welcome back to it, man. Hey, this is a happy place, guys. That's one thing I can tell you. Everyone who come here, they're always happy, making sure. And also at home, you're happy and enjoying the show, man. And can walk with miss there and miss youth empowerment. Malapha showing, guys. Welcome to the youth show.
Thank you for having us.
That's your appeal. I'm going to be a gentleman. I will just say, ladies first, please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Okay, firstly, thank you so much for having us here. My name is Latita Kweta. I'm 20 years old and I'm currently doing my 3rd year at AFDA, doing my BA in Live Performance. And I am a founder and teacher for Mzansi Models, which is a modeling school that's based in New Brighton.
Shout out. I can
Gujabulan Matebula from Zwide, also currently studying Bachelor of Education at NMU, doing 3rd year. Also founder of Ubuhle Bendalo Grooming and Modeling Academy, which is also a modeling school in Zwide.
Guys, let's start. Like, we know what's happening at Gqeberha right now. Yes. And then you guys decided to do Indo Youth Empowerment, which is, we love that. That's amazing. Guys, a new bride, a lot is happening. And then you guys decided to, okay, let's start this. How did that come about?
It's actually Mr. and Miss Empowered Youth. It started after I did Mr. South Africa 2022. It was an IDNJ because I was in the top 10 for Mr. SA 2022, and on my way I decided that, you know what, let me do something that is going to empower, because what I realized is that it's going to take a bit of a miracle for Umdana with backgrounds as Fananese to actually reach heights as a Fana, no Mr. SA, to actually be crowned a Mr. SA. It was an achievement to be in the top 10. So I decided to go to, you know what, let me get together with Abantu and Baze, Babaya Sebenza, get together and create Mr. and Miss Empowered Youth so that we could have Abandwana learning in one space together and feed off each other's energies.
Shout out. Sis Wam, do you want to add something?
Yes, from my side, I started Mzansi Models when I was 11 years old, after I won Teen Miss Port Elizabeth 2014, of which I wanted to give back to my community because they supported me during my journey of the competition, and I wanted to teach my peers about what I've learned so far. So I've started the school. It was Pioneers SA at that time, but it collapsed after, 2 years, and I revitalized it again because New Brighton is a high crime community, of which there are imbali inside of the community. So instead of dwelling in the negatives, I thought, let's just revitalize this and do something positive for the community. Now I have Mzansi Models.
Shout out to you, man. You guys deciding that. Yo, guys. Hey, guys, we have to show. We have to be honest about it. Shout out, guys. Let's talk, man. Talk about this modeling. We know you still remember we used to have a show, and then you just go and see the kids. Those things are not happening anymore. Like, do you guys aware what happened to that, or this modeling is not being supported?
I can't really say I'm aware per se, but I think with ixesha, as ixesha lihamba, people grow more into different things.
Yeah.
Sports started taking place, gaming started taking place, and then there was less interest in pageants. Not that they died, it's just that abantu didn't really focus on them as much as they did before.
Yes.
For instance, as well, I grew up watching pageants. It was a whole thing. I grew up entering pageants.
Sure.
But it just faded. And then it was up until 2014 when Rolene Strauss, when she won Miss World.
I'm not the
She's a
Yeah,
former she's a former Miss. I'm sorry if it's not her, but I don't know why. Yeah, but 2014 when she won Miss World, and I was like, okay, fine. Maybe this thing, ear pageants, is coming back. It still didn't really come back, and then but it came on. It went on and went on. That's when my interest grew again. Uzo Zibini just took it to another level. But we had Demi Nell Peters, who won Miss Universe 2017 before Uzozi, and then Tamarind Green. So from that level, it started filtering down, because now we had all these beauty queens that were doing great things and winning accolades for South Africa.
Yeah.
And then obviously the interest is going to start picking up again. So it has actually picked up quite a bit. Yeah.
I also want to ask you something. Says about Miss Universe what better fate yake why better why all over. Nina this youth manje believe again with Zen. I want to ask what keeps you going as a model? Like you say, this is what I want to do.
I feel like every person has their own individual spark, So what keeps you going is you wanting to be different than someone else, because each and every person has something in them that someone else doesn't have. But I have that special something that is wanted or that is seen out there. And also, it's just about learning, teaching, and being inspired and inspiring, because no matter how much people are not cheering you on, they are watching. And they are being inspired.
True that. Yeah. And I also want to ask, guys, I would notice one thing about models, Lawe, or models at all. Like, I never saw a short model that way. Is it a thing, man, if you reach a certain height and then you be able, because I always like, in the be heels abandoned either way. So is it a must, man, you have to be in a certain height, or what's up?
Okay.
Anyone.
Okay, I think back in the days it was a thing of you have to be tall, you have to be slender. But nowadays modeling is for anyone. Modeling can be done by a person who's any height or any size, any shape, color, whatsoever. As long as you want to have the confidence and you're passionate about what you're doing, you want to learn more about what you're doing, then you can do it.
Roman, I feel like
the height thing is still there, especially in runway.
Sure.
If it's a fashion show runway, you would still get requirements saying a height needs to be, you need to be this tall if you're a female, you need to be this tall if you're a male. But in pageantry, not anymore. So there's competitions and then there's runway. You see, so in competitions, height is, we don't really look at height much anymore. Also, there are those designers that feel like, you know what, I want to design and cater to everybody. So it's okay for me to have shorter models so that people don't think I'm only catering for just, tall people. So especially in the African community, we're not really that specific, but if you would still go to your certain fashion shows, like your big fashion shows, they would still have that height requirement because they believe clothes hang better in tall people.
Shout out, sorry. Guys, I feel like this is looking a man like when the cocoa this weekend. Let's talk about that. You want to say?
Mr. and Miss Empowered Youth started, as I said, in 2022, so it went on And now we are at the end. We are 3 days away from the finals. We've got 9 males and 9 females from around PE. Sinabasa Soweto, Sinabasa Joslovo, Sinabasa Zwide, New Brighton, Motherwell, Newton Park. Like every place you can think of are there, and they will be doing their thing on stage on Saturday at the ETC Conference Center, which is the center opposite Ekenako in Zwide. As you go in Zwide, just there at the corner there. It's going to be there. It starts at red carpet is at 2 o'clock.
Carpet?
Yeah, of course. Yes, of course. The actual show starts at 3 o'clock. So what we did there is to give the show its standard Mr. and Miss South Africa. You know, obviously it's not going to be as huge and grand as that, but we wanted to bring that element so that the Nomdana selection, you know what, I can actually do it, you know. And also, should they get a chance to be in a space of Miss South Africa or Mr. South Africa, but we did, it's not a matter of we wanted finalists and then they walk on stage. Sure. It's been a process, like it's been 3 months where they were in training and grueling and doing this, doing that, getting tasks, because what we want is empowered people. We're not only going to empower you by walking on stage. Yes. You need to be able to speak. You need to be able to articulate. You need to be able to represent a brand. You need to be able to do all these things that you are not only going to use in modeling, but when you go out of modeling, you can use them as in your job to start your own business. So that's basically what we're wanting to do. We're not only focusing on, obviously the day is the big thing, but also there are things that are taking place behind the scenes and 3-4 months prior the actual show. So yeah, that's what's been happening, and yeah, we are super excited.
I can tell by you saying it. Yeah. The other thing is, this one, what can we wait for before I'm super Dalamakyan? A show in Orlando, we're going to surprise everyone in this.
There's special guests, and also it's not only about winning the prize, but it's having the experience. And there's not only going to be the winners, but there's also special prizes for other people as well. So just to motivate and encourage that, yes, you might not have this title, but you have this title.
Yeah. Shout out, guys. Before I'm patala entry fees ya patala kanye?
Yes. Tickets are 150 rands at web tickets or Pick and Pay, and VIP is 250.
I guys in this vele and because of going VIP, guys. But hey man, guys, I just want to say, man, shout out to you guys. I love what you guys are doing, the youth empowerment, and all the best, man. I hope to be part of it. And guys, for your red carpet right
yes,
now.
Please.
But okay, guys, we're just gonna go and pay our bills, and then when we're coming back, you know, we got health, fitness, as we get but okay, stay tuned. We're coming back after this.
Workout, we're going to do 10-minute hit cardio on the floor. First exercise, we're going for high plank. Next, let's go 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back, man. Yeah, you know, it's almost that time to say Siyakutuka. Before we say we're going home, but it's the healthy corner, whereas we take you to fitness. But okay, today we have Umbuso Mapumulo. He's going to be showing us, man, what to do to keep yourself warm this winter. And Mbukeli, because Baba Peleo Mibuzo yetu, in the football, but stay tuned, we're going to come back after this.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice stuff. Nice stuff. Let's break. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go for some mountain climbers. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice, bring it down. 10 seconds, break time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Next exercise, we're going for half burpees. Yep. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 seconds break. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Next exercise, we're going for half burpees, but we're gonna hit the obliques. So we're here. Right. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Cut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And nice stuff. 10 seconds break. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Next workout, we're going a little bit low. What we're gonna do shoulder taps, push up position, right here. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, out. Let's go. 10 seconds break time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go for some fluffy kicks down in your back. Let's go. Right here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 10 more. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. Beginning to shake over there. Started to get a little shaky. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going for squat burpees. So we're down here. Let's go. Let's go for 10 and 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Come on. 1, 2, 3.
Afethu, welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed that, man. And that was Umbuso Mapumulo, making sure you guys are warm and fit for a winter. Kutiwa summer bodies are bald in winter. Okay, if you're not interacting and then was Benze Bishop, like 6-pack is built in winter, man. But in future, hope I will have that. I'm not go with the name Luando Wakanjokweni. Oh, if you guys were not interacting with us, it was because you know kukho abantu abawinile ama-ticket double ticket abo, and we're going to see them and Hawks back this weekend. That's Music on the Snow. First of all, it's gonna be a bang of events, man. Bonenzi of Wustanova or Holy Day, inenzi man, inenzi landenza kapana. But ke usanayo chance because ngomso kungolwesine ngolwehlanu ungachazwa uvele uhambe uyofumana la show yangomgqibelo because it starts Friday. It starts Friday until Sunday, and then there's also Metro FM DJs. Yeah, it's gonna be a vibe, man. It's gonna be a vibe. Away from home, just for a weekend. Think about it. WhatsApp line, it's 083-690-0530. That's our WhatsApp line. And then social media, Boom Kappa TV. That's us on Facebook. And also on Instagram, as Fumana Apo. On social media, also on Kangela as Luando. Wow, Luando jokes, ne? Luando jokes, that's me. And also, yeah, for Facebook, Instagram, yeah, one thing. And okay, Google. Yeah, but it's that time to have to let you go. And thank you for watching the show and choosing us on a cold Wednesday. Takutibala nawe ngolwesihlanu. Of course, we moving just like that. We out.